Essex Business Radio.
Hi friends, Elliot Browne here, Essex Business Radio, and I'm here with a very special guest today, something very interesting, very intriguing. It is Paul Bramley from British Polygraph Testing. Got it right, didn't I?
You did.
Ah, good.
Hi everybody.
So anybody that's obviously watching from YouTube or wherever this video is, then obviously they can see us. Otherwise, you'll be listening to us on, hopefully on Essex Business Radio's podcast, on the app, or hundreds of different places, I suppose. Hundreds is probably pushing it, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's not that many people that create their own platform to release stuff on.
No, there isn't.
I think there's probably about half a dozen or so.
Yeah, but I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Well, and in fact, it was because of this that we've got in contact, or you got in contact with the show, with us here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing considering we're not exactly a million miles away from one another.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're 20 minutes.
You're Loughton, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, the airways and the digital airways and online means that we're almost in each other's pockets now, aren't we?
Exactly. An ever-connected world.
Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting, Paul. Polygraph testing. Listen, if people don't know what a polygraph is, go and give us a brief description of what polygraphing is.
Everyone knows a polygraph exam is a lie detector test.
Yes.
So,
well, I don't know. They don't all know that, do they?
I think that's what people are more likely to have known it for.
Yeah,
so they're not going to go. They will think lie detector test, not polygraph.
Yeah. And places like
the Jeremy Kyle show.
Of course.
That was the big one.
But
wasn't
who else were we talking about before we started recording?
That was the Jerry Springer show.
Jerry Springer, that's it.
Jeremy Kyle was just the British version of Jerry Springer, wasn't
absolutely,
it? Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
I mean, I was waiting for them for the one episode to just bring along a table full of custard pies, and go, we don't know where this is going to go. This is a surprise. Oh, that wasn't for you. Why was it there then?
And we're going to come. I want to talk a little bit about what you. I mean, this is what this show's about. The Fireside Chat is very much about getting to know you and the person behind the business. Yeah. How you make your money out of the business. We'll leave that to another show when we talk more about the business. But people buy from people these days, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
And in talking to you for a little while before coming on here, very personable guy, a lot going about you, and an interesting thing to get into, and so we'll come back to that in a little while. Yeah. But I definitely want to know a little bit more about you. So, Loughton, you're an Essex boy.
Yeah, sort of, born around Chigwell and Loughton, and sort of lived there forever, really. So, I've not really travelled particularly. I've never lived anywhere else for a long period of time.
Okay.
Obviously, when I trained, I was out in Fort Myers in Florida for 3 months.
Yeah, sure.
But I think that's really kind of, apart from university.
Okay.
That's kind
Where'd you go to uni?
Cardiff.
Did you?
Yeah, so imagine waking up to... yeah, it is good, but, imagine waking up to Tom Jones blaring out the Millennium Stadium every Sunday.
Really? Is that genuinely that's what happens?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What, they've just got it recorded?
No, it's blaring out, and you're like... Oh, first thing on a Sunday morning, yeah.
So how long did you do at uni, or what were you at uni for?
So I started off doing economics and management, and then I dropped the economic side of it, because for me, I kind of found it like learn it parrot fashion.
Right.
And that to me wasn't really why I went to university. I wanted to learn a different way of thinking.
Right.
Not sort of, if you can open a book and go, there it is.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily education insofar as that,
Definitely.
Anyone can kind of do that. It's about that whole kind of thinking process. I was hoping really it was going to be a little bit more like the Harvard Business School method, where you're just constantly looking at different companies and different scenarios and going, what would you do in this position?
Sure. Okay.
And bouncing those different ideas off of people.
Okay. Yeah. I think. I mean, this goes, I think, for entrepreneurs do learn slightly differently. I think, with that the whole book. I mean, I came out of school and I was, sort of done with the education side of things. I think I saw the world as being my education, as my apprenticeship, I suppose. Yeah. And I suppose in a similar way, that's what you're sort of saying. If you'd be more hands-on and things, would you have taken it on a bit better?
Well, yeah.
How long were you at uni for?
4 years.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I didn't really get much from university. I didn't find it the best place of learning for me.
Yeah.
And I think learning doesn't really begin until you've left formal education.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, now I'm going to actually be following the things that interest me and my passions and things like that.
Yeah, sure.
At that young age, you're kind of like, it starts narrowing down. So at GCSEs, pick a few options, then pick 3 A levels, and you've kind of starting to narrow down this field. And you go, as if you for those few people who know, oh, I'm going to be a doctor one day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but what else do you do if you don't have that certainty?
I had no idea.
pick. You
Yeah.
know, like, well, I don't know, geography. What does everyone do? And then they've got, especially at that age, you go, oh, what do I think is going to be an easy subject? So you do drama at GCSE, thinking it's going to be easy and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, oh well, I've took all these other hard subjects. I need a little bit of a break subject.
Yeah. So after uni, then, what did you do? Where'd you go? What did you do after that? What was your path
I've done
then?
I've done a few different things. So I was a futures trader for a little while.
Okay.
I've worked in the family business. We remould and retread truck tyres.
Oh, really?
Try saying that when you've had a drink.
My cousins run lorries for years. I know exactly what that is. And the tool and everything. Yeah.
Then I was a chugger for a little while.
Oh, chugger?
That's the charity muggers. You know, one of those people that stop you in the street and say, "Excuse me, can I tell you a little bit about crisis?"
Is that what they're called? Chuggers?
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but that's not what came to mind when you said chugger, to be fair. I was thinking, can we say this during the recording?
Charity mugger.
Right, okay. So you the tabard and which you're not allowed to do anymore, is it?
I still see a few about London sometimes.
Oh, really? What, shaking the tin?
No, it's no, because most of them, what they're looking for is that regular donation. Because
that's why you don't see them shaking the tin anymore, because they're after people signing up and giving you their bank details.
That's it, because what they want is a regular income stream.
Yeah.
So rather than just going, you know, oh, we've done a few campaigns and we've got X amount of money.
Yeah.
They want to be able to go. What they don't want to do is start a project and then that money then runs out.
Yeah.
They want to know that they've built up a more stable cash flow.
Yeah, for sure, which makes sense.
Yeah, you know,
revenue earner.
Yeah, but then if you're paying people to go out to get leads to bring in more, it's kind of a little bit wait a minute. So where's is the money supposed to be going to help people?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was so I was made jobless and homeless on the same day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. So that is literally why I did that. I was having to. I rented a little room.
All right.
It was literally like a box room with just a single bed in. You had probably about 2 foot at the end.
Really?
And a 1.5 foot by the side of the bed. It was costing me £40 a week.
Wow.
But I was lucky. Managed to keep me afloat till I could get back on my feet and things like that.
And how did you get yourself back on your feet?
So just getting into. I ended up going back to the family business, the factory.
Okay.
And then from there, after that, I've then progressed on, and it's now I'm polygraph examiner full time.
So what? So before we get into polygraphing, then why not the family business? Why not? What was that? Not your bag? Was it not your sort of path that you wanted to take?
Well, no. At the time, it was it was a family business. My brother had already been there for years anyway.
Oh, okay.
And so
same age as you?
No, my brother's
well, obviously can't be exactly the same age as you, can he?
Well, he could be
twins, duh.
But no. My brother's got a good 20 odd years or so on me.
Oh, is he? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, that was almost kind of his thing.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of, you know, to progress on, you're kind of like sort of dead man's boots and things like that. There wasn't really anywhere for me to grow.
Right. Okay.
In that field. So you know, it was better to find and do my own thing.
And still, the family business still goes, and it's
family
still running.
Is still there.
Yeah.
It's we're based in Rainham. So do you remember they had to close off the Euro tunnel because of a tyre factory burning down?
Was that one?
That was ours.
No way.
Yeah, I think that was about sort of 2008, 2009,
I remember it burning. Yeah. I remember you could see it. At one point they were talking about
evacuating Rainham.
Wow.
You know, and it's a shame because the fire brigade did a great job. They were there within minutes. The only problem being is that it took a long time for them to get permission to use the foam.
Right.
Now, because my next door neighbours...
It took them a long time to get permission to use the phone.
Foam. Foam.
Can I use your phone? Wait a minute. Well, the factory's burning. Can you just give us a few minutes?
Yeah, no, because I was speaking to my next door neighbour's a fireman, and his thing, he said, you have to have enough to put the whole lot out.
Right. Otherwise it doesn't work.
It's pointless.
Well, it doesn't suffocate it, does it, I suppose? Yeah.
So, you know, but also because of the rain and marshes and
genuinely, as you're talking about this now, I can literally picture it as I'm driving around the M25. I remember seeing it from what was a long way off, near the sun, near this newspaper building, Cheshunt, sort of Junction 25, M25.
A little bit further down.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you could see it pretty clearly from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. I mean, it's unbelievable because tyres get so hot.
Yeah,
I mean, there's twice as energy rich as coal.
Yeah,
but you can't put them out. So seeing the aftermath was unreal when you see these big,
Wow.
thick steel girders.
Yeah, and they're just like all
melted
bent.
and twisted and touching the ground, and you're
Mental.
like, wow, the heat that must have been coming off that was unreal.
That is mad. How long did it take them to put that out? 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
so it didn't fuck the business then? I'm assuming, you know, there was a...
Well, the irony was the business was doing well enough that it was, my dad had halved the land.
Right.
So he'd halved the land and then was developing another, effectively like a site for another business.
Right.
On the other half of the land.
Right,
So
okay.
when the tyre factory burned down, obviously it was a big problem, but then he just he moved over to the other side of the building and restarted in there.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, so, but obviously that puts a dent in the plans. Well, that was the idea, if he was going to retire and rent that out.
Yeah.
You know, now it's kind of back to square one, kind of, and you know, rebuilding again.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they're doing well. They're going from strength to strength, which is great to see.
Good. Oh, okay, cool. So, Raynham and Loughton, and you said you haven't been away for very much. Obviously, Cardiff, and when you went to the States as well, and you tell us a little bit. So there was a bit of training there for learning how to be a lie detector.
Well, I'm quite lucky. So I got put in touch with a guy called Ben Blaylock, who's a very, very good examiner,
right?
And a very good trainer,
right?
He now runs his own place called Peak Credibility.
Right.
So he did have a joint business with Stolting, who make polygraph equipment. And so, but he's obviously had differences of opinion with them, and he's chosen to go on his own. Now, I know Ben very well, and it's because Ben is very exacting on, this is exactly what the science says. There is no argument.
Right.
You stick to best practice. That, and he's very much down the line, and that is it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's kind of, you have to do, like, it's 3 months out there. When I come back, everyone was like, "How come you haven't got a suntan?" It's like, because I wasn't laying on the beach. I was in like a little box room, you know, 6-7 days a week, because you've got so much learning to do.
Yeah.
You have to do a minimum of 400 hours of testing.
Wow. Okay.
Right. But you've also got to be an examinee for the other people who are training for over 400 hours of testing. So as you can imagine, when that blood pressure cuff goes on, it's like Pavlovian conditioning. I was like, Paul, stay awake. I'm like, I'm trying, but it really is boring, you know.
What got you into it? What is it that started you on the? I just fancy testing people to see if they're lying or not.
No.
I mean, I hate lies.
Yeah, well, it's insult to your intelligence.
Oh, massively, yeah, for sure. Learned a long time ago that it's much easier to tell the truth. People respect you better for telling the truth, finding out that, you know, okay, they didn't like what you were saying, but it's truthful, than finding out you're a liar, for sure.
Well, and also, it's you know, half the time it can be, you know, you're the last person to find something else out in a situation. You go, well, how long has everyone known about this issue behind my back for?
Yeah.
And you know, you wonder, you know, how long am I being made a fool of?
Yeah.
So what happened? My dad got my mum to have a polygraph exam.
Right.
This was when they was getting divorced. Not for fidelity.
Okay.
This was about diamonds.
Really?
So yeah, they'd been out to the Savoy. The stone one of the class had come off her ring.
Okay.
And the stone had come out.
Right.
And so when my dad was speaking to a jeweller, he went, "No, even with 2 class, there's no way that stone should have fallen out," etc., etc. She then also lost another ring at their place in Spain, and then my dad found it, and he found it in his shorts, and he thought, "Oh, this looks dodgy."
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. So it was kind of like, how long with the whole divorce thing, how long has she been planning to leave me for? And he starts getting a little bit
really? Right. Okay.
So he got my mum to have one. She agreed, and she went, "Listen, you better have a bottle of champagne, a fillet steak, and a lobster ready for when I pass," which he did, and which she did. But I got chatting away to the examiner.
Right.
A friend of mine called Terry Mullins, who's effectively become my mentor. He's a really, really, really nice guy. And he's been a polygraph examiner for a very long time.
Right.
So he's one of the 5 founding members of the British Polygraph Association.
Okay.
So, you know, he's kind of gone through, and he's seen, you know, a lot of stuff, and it's kind of been able to guide me in the right direction, like going straight away to Ben. Right. Okay. You know. So.
Okay, well, listen, I definitely want to hear a bit more about that. We're going to take a very quick break. Back in 3. Back again, it's Elliot Browne here for, and he said Forge then, Essex Business Radio, powered by Forge Management, as our sting says very nicely. Thanks, Brian. A little shout out to Brian, my producer friend, who helps us produce the show.
Oh, lovely.
I think I'll talk to you a little bit about him. So So your parents had done this, and you were talking to the to your who's now become your mentor.
Yeah.
And this is what's got you into polygraph testing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's it's kind of handy because I've been able to go straight to a great guy called Ben Blaylock.
Yeah,
and so you're out there, you're doing the level of work that you've got to do is absolutely unreal for 3 months.
Yeah.
So
listen, if somebody's trusting you to come up with something that is in essence the sort of end of a dispute, for example, you've got to be trustworthy. You've got to be able to go through that process, haven't you? I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's why it's so important to stick to best practice.
Yeah.
Because then it's above my pay grade. Now,
Yeah.
now, if you want to argue with it, now you've got to get the men in the white lab coats and go, right, you're dealing with them. I mean, The weird thing is
what men are the in white lab coats? Who are these
so
guys?
doctors like Hans, Raskin, people like that who are always...
Who?
Doctors Hans and Raskin and people like that.
Who are they? Come on,
they're
explain to me. Who are they?
So these are the people who are working on polygraph and always improving the process.
Okay. You're playing footsie with me under the table
I am
here.
a little bit. I'm sort of half tangled up in a wire.
Oh, yeah. That's what she said.
Kinky. So what happens is, so when people talk about polygraph, their accuracy is always a big thing.
Yeah.
But so what people compare it to is not necessarily what you've got modern day.
Right.
It's like, if you was to go back in the 1950s, an occipital lobotomy, they'd do one in your lunch break.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, lovely. I'll come in. It only takes an hour. We'll give you brain damage and send you home.
Perfect.
So
I think I've done that a couple of times, to be fair, in my lunch hour.
yeah, but so would you have rather brain surgery in the 1950s, or would you rather have it today?
Yeah.
I know which one I'd prefer. And
Yes.
just like with polygraph, it's all gone on and changed. So when people are quoting stuff, you have to know exactly what they're talking about first, because there's valid testing and there's invalid testing.
Right, okay.
So one test was called an R&I test. It's not a valid form of testing.
Okay.
Basically, you're going to fail. It had a 50% false positive rate. So you might as well toss a coin to find out if that person's guilty or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And and this is that was a kind of test that they would give someone if you was a polygraph examiner.
Right. Okay.
So
Wow.
Absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Now we'll use something like the Utah zone comparison test.
Right.
Which is what I use.
Yeah.
Now that's it's 92% accurate. You have to think about what accuracy means, though.
Sure.
I could do a test that's 100% accurate. I fail everyone, because accuracy is how many of the guilty people did you catch.
I
You
suppose,
fail everyone.
I suppose you're right. Yeah.
You've 100% accurate.
And how do you always know? Because they come to you.
Oh yeah, but that's one of the things that always makes you laugh.
Talk me through the process then. I mean, listen, we've probably seen it on films and things like that, maybe as a Bond film or something like that. But but talk us through the process. I've walked in, somebody wants to know if I'm lying or not. Obviously, I don't lie, so it's fucking useless putting it on me. But so talk me through the process. You're allowed to talk about this, or is it like whoever's in the polygraphing club is not allowed to talk about polygraphing?
No. There's no Tyler Durden. No. So basically, what would happen is people come in. They're going to tell me the issue, and we're going to discuss why they're there, what we want to be tested for, what we want to find out. Also, then it will get to the stage once we've agreed what they're there for. We've got kind of some admin stuff to go through.
Yeah.
Then it will come to the pre-test interview. Now, this is where it can only be me and the examinee in the room.
Yeah.
We know what we're testing them for, and this is where someone's going to tell me anything that they've been up to, or issues, worries, doubts, or anything like that. Got on there. So, for example, if I was doing a fidelity test, someone might say to me, I was in a club once, a guy tried kissing me, I pushed him straight off, but his lips did touch mine. Is that going to affect the test? Yeah,
sure.
So then I'll...
You're talking about me, I've been out.
Well, I don't know. Is this what you've been up to?
Well, actually, it was a night out recently, but I can't tell you about that.
Leave heaven alone. So what happens then is I'm going to note down everything they say.
Yeah.
And I'm going to change the question to become, okay, look, besides what we discussed. Because I don't want them sitting there worrying about that. If that's all that's happened, that's all that's happened.
Sure.
And so we're going to exclude that from the test.
Yeah.
Now, what someone can't do, they can't give me that scenario after they've then gone off and slept with them.
Yeah.
Because we haven't spoke about that. So you can't lie by, making a minor omission. But it helps put people at their ease.
Right.
Get everything off their chest. So for example, if someone's got, sex addiction.
Yeah.
Well, then I've got a lot of writing to do.
Yeah.
And a lot to discuss with people.
Sure.
But it also helps narrow something down. So if someone was a car thief, I'm only going to be interested in testing sort of one car. There's one reason why they're here.
Yeah.
I don't want anything else that might jeopardise the test. So other cars they've nicked in the area.
Yeah.
I don't want that to influence the test.
Yeah.
So it's all about helping people realise and understand it's a specific issue.
Okay, so I understand that. What I mean is, what do you do? I'm sat down. What do you do? What do you stick on me? Do you stick electrodes on my balls? I mean, what do you do? Do you put them on my nipples?
Again, I think this is your sex life coming out again now.
No, what do you do? So you said something about.
So you've got a blood pressure cuff, just like you'd have in the doctor's, a sphygmomanometer. It's going to measure your blood pressure.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of finger cups that go on your ring and index finger of your left hand.
So not the balls.
No, that just measures any change in sweat gland activity.
Yeah.
All right.
So they like. So that's what they do. It's the sweat gland. Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're monitoring.
Okay. You've then got to talk about this,
of course I can. Yeah.
So this is what I don't know. You see.
No, obviously. Yeah, it's all on my website anyway. Explain everything.
Yeah.
I have to spend time in a test telling everyone what everything does anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course we want to educate the viewers and the listeners as well, because I don't know, and I know a lot of things, but I had no idea what you do.
Yeah. So then you've got a couple of pneumographs. So one goes on the upper chest.
Okay.
One goes
above
their belly. No, it can be over close.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm only looking for upper body movement.
Okay.
And then they're also going to be sitting on a motion sensor.
Wow.
So something that we have to keep telling people.
Do they ever fart?
To be fair, people do fart.
Okay.
But I often sit there and tell people, listen, if your stomach rumbles or my stomach rumbles, don't worry, it's not going to affect the test. Because if I don't say that, the moment their stomach rumbles,
they're going to be
start
twitching.
looking at me out the corner of their eye, and their body goes.
Yeah.
I have to wait for everything to settle back down again, and then I can carry on asking questions.
Yeah. And you were saying about this before, weren't you? That you have to leave it a certain amount of time to allow you between sort of questions. And things like
so
that.
There's a minimum of a 25-second gap between each question. Now, no one believes me when I tell them how boring a polygraph exam is, because they've come in, they've got a lot of adrenaline flowing through, and they're feeling a little bit nervous, and that's perfectly normal. Okay, nerves don't affect polygraph exams, because if they did, no one would pass one.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And so what happens is then that adrenaline wears off quite quick.
Right.
When you're sitting there keeping perfectly still, answering, the same questions that we've gone through, a fair few times.
Yeah.
It is a really, really boring process. But in a weird way, when you've finished, you kind of feel exhausted, even though you haven't really done anything. You're sitting there keeping still, answering yes or no.
Yeah.
So it is quite odd in the whole procedure of how it works. And I'm tapping and clicking throughout the charts and things like that. So I've got to make sure that there's no disturbances, so no outside. Like if there was a massive loud bang outside, I'm going to annotate that chart because I expect people to respond to loud noises.
Of course, yeah.
If they didn't, humanity wouldn't be here. What's that growling noise? Do you know what I mean? So, and if it's near any relevant information, then we just scrub that chart out and we do it again.
Right.
So it's not like when you're at school, you're taught you've got to get the answer right first time, quicker than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's not how a polygraph works. You're going to effectively be asked the same question, about the 3 questions about the same subject, so you're going to get a main question about 9 times.
Yeah.
That's what we're taking, an averaged out response to all those presentations of those questions.
Right, okay.
And that's because that's where it gets its accuracy from. The more data you've got to draw from, the more accurate you can be.
Yeah. And and this is UK wide. Is there quite a few people that do this in the UK? Or
there's not that many.
Okay.
I always say to people, do your due diligence on your exam.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're a member of the appropriate associations, like the American Polygraph Association.
Yeah.
They should also generally be a member of, say, the British Polygraph Association or the British and European Polygraph Association.
Right.
And make sure that you can speak to the examiner yourself.
Okay.
So, because there's companies out there that they're not polygraph examiners, they're just good at building a website, and then they'll outsource the work to a polygraph
to somebody else.
examiner.
Yeah. But I mean, who comes to you for things like this? I mean, obviously you can't mention names and things like that because you have to, swear an oath or I'm assuming to do something
Well, it's
along
just
those lines.
Confidentiality.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and then people have to sign these certain agreements and things like that. So
consent release.
But who comes to you for things like that?
You'd be surprised. More people than you would think. And the difference
quite
is...
a few, because I wouldn't know who would.
Well, when people think about people who take polygraphs, instantly their mind goes to the Jeremy Kyle show.
Yeah. Affairs or...
but one of the things people say to me is, why should I come to you when I can get it free on the Jeremy Kyle show?
Well, there is no Jeremy Kyle show now.
Yeah, no, when it was about... And you kind of have to go, listen... The Jeremy Kyle show isn't free. You're just going to pay your dignity.
Yeah.
You're going to sell your dignity on national telly.
Yeah, basically.
If that's what makes you happy, then good luck to you.
Yeah.
But
I don't think, with all due respect, and if anybody listening or watching this has been on the Jeremy Kyle show, fair play to you, but I don't think there's that many people that think that much about it if they were going to go on the show, do you?
Well, I mean, it's you never know. Everyone's got different situations.
You're being really diplomatic here.
Well, no, I mean, if someone can't afford to have a polygraph exam and this is their only option, to kind of get a matter resolved,
get on TV,
well, not get on TV, but get a matter resolved, then why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it probably did more help rather than harm. It did become quite a jeering public spectacle.
Yes, yeah.
But again, if you know then that your partner's been faithful, you're not gonna throw away 5 years that you've spent building a life together.
Yeah.
Great, you can now sleep overnight because all those worries are off your head. All right, they've been faithful and you've put that issue to bed.
Yeah.
So a lot more people,
or the opposite.
In that case, it's never nice, but you have to give bad news as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
You do get odd things where so someone will call me up, 8 months later. And it's like, can domestic violence affect a test? And you're like, listen, if there is domestic violence, I'm not going to test them because I say, listen, get to women's refuge because if you fail, you're probably going to get a dig.
Yeah.
But if you pass, you're probably still going to get a dig because you've made me look foolish.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a no-win situation.
So you have to play things quite carefully. I mean, you mentioned a couple of things before we started recording, and you sort of tend to then think about things in a different way. You have to be a bit careful about who you're working with and things like that. There's some interesting people out there that may want to find out if somebody's lying or not, and maybe
did you
not
steal
the
my
necessary.
cocaine?
And
it's kind of like,
no, I didn't. No. You asking me, or
I can't do that test because otherwise then it makes me involved in their industry.
Yeah.
There was that kid from Manchester. There was a Channel 4 show. Do you remember who drove some kids to a fish and chip shop and they went in and killed someone?
No.
And then he's looking to get done for it because the police saying, well, they couldn't have got there if you hadn't taken them. And
right.
He's like, I didn't know why they were going there.
Yeah.
He was kind of afraid of this kid as well. It's a brilliant show on Channel 4. I'm surprised you missed it.
No.
Really interesting because that whole kind of, is he involved? Because they couldn't have got there if it wasn't for him giving him a lift.
Right.
But also, if you've got nasty people around you and they say, can you give us a lift? You kind of tend to do it because otherwise their aggression starts coming towards you.
Yeah.
So,
And they did polygraph testing for that, is that what that
No.
was?
I was just giving you
what was the
instance.
point then of that?
The whole point being is that
if they had.
He's then involved in that person's murder.
Yeah.
He might not have been.
I see what you're trying to say.
So if someone wants me to test someone for stealing somebody else's cocaine, that would involve me in their drug business.
Yes,
I don't want to be involved in other people's drug business.
No, of course not.
I like to sleep overnight.
Yeah.
I have enough of people's problems already. So
Yeah. So you do you do have to take a lot of stuff on, don't you, from people?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things that's really important is you kind of have got to be a little bit of a counsellor. Because people
I can imagine. Yeah, particularly afterwards, after they've started, and probably before they've started talking as well. They start just unloading certain things to you, do they?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had a couple come down to me. They travelled about 3.5 hours down to see me, and her partner had given her the 3rd degree for that entire car journey.
Yeah.
And she's come out. She's shaking like a leaf. I don't need someone in that state. My job is to kind of get people relaxed.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we can get to, the testing. But
why was she shaking like a leaf, though?
Because she'd spent 3.5 hours getting the 3rd degree from her partner as to whether she'd been faithful or not.
Right, okay.
I'm sure if you took
prior to doing the test, straight away prior to the test, why don't you just leave it to the test?
That's the whole point. People are trying to leverage information
beforehand. Wow.
Everyone likes to be their own Inspector Clouseau.
Right, okay. Okay, I mean, I can't. Listen, we talked about this. I mean, lies are a big thing. I just say it's so much easier to tell the truth than dig a hole and lie. But thankfully there's loads of people that obviously do or want it proven, because otherwise they wouldn't be coming to you, would they?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, there's nothing worse than being accused of something you haven't done.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you haven't done something, there's no evidence, but a lack of evidence doesn't prove innocence. It just proves a lack of evidence. So how else can you try and go around proving a negative?
Yeah.
There's no other way, because if it hasn't happened, there is no evidence because it hasn't happened.
Yeah. Interesting, right? Well, I'm intrigued by this, to be honest. I fancy having a test at some stage, but I don't. But
everyone says that.
But I don't want to be tested for, because I don't lie. Well, so
I think you do.
Really?
Yeah.
Why
I know you do.
So how do you know I do?
Because everyone does. Have you ever said, if your friend says,
No.
does my bum look big in this? And you go,
yes.
no, or, oh, this
I
one
just tell them
suits
it
you
did.
better,
No.
or that colour suits you
what's
better.
the fucking point? I just tell them, yes, you've got a fat ass, love.
Oh, and when the kids say to you, Daddy, is Father Christmas real? You don't go, no, me and Mummy do everything. We want them to have the magic of Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think he'd ask me. I'm going to think of some stuff in this very short break we're going to take. I'm going to think of things where I may have lied. Back in a minute. We're back again. I'm here with Paul Bramley from British Polygraph Testing.
Yes.
It's Elliot Browne here at Essex Business Radio, doing another one of our Fireside Chats. What do you think so far? What do you think to the Fireside Chat to our little studio?
I think it's great.
Yeah?
It's nice to be able to, sit there and talk and stuff and talk business and things like that, and also what you do.
Yeah.
But also there's a nice flow back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is always great.
Yeah.
You forgot to mention that it's powered by the Forge Management.
It's powered by Forge Management. They would have heard that in the little break as well. And anybody that can't is watching us, and anybody that's listening can't. And we've got no jingle bells to give it the sort of Christmas sound. But we are here on the 16th of December 2019, the last couple of weeks of the decade.
Indeed,
unbelievable. But behind us, you can see a bit of a tree. I can't try. What I'll do is we'll do a little picture, but there's a big Christmas tree here in the studio as well. So we are getting into the festive spirit a little bit. Only like 11 days. No, 9 days away from Christmas. Is that right? 9 days.
9 days. Dan.
Shit.
Are you
ready? Are you ready? No. Not at all. Not at all. Literally, not at all.
I outsource to family members because
really?
I don't know what the kids want. Every different thing now, and I can't keep up.
Yeah.
I don't. They've got all different ages. My nieces and nephews and things, and it's kind of what do you get them?
Yeah.
Most kids go, I just want vouchers for my PlayStation or my phone or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
All that digital DLC currencies and the DLC stuff like
Yeah.
Fortnite and all of that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Or phones.
Yeah. As if I'm going to be buying you a phone. Calm down. There's a pair of socks and an orange.
My 10-year-old's getting my iPhone X.
Wow.
So I upgraded, and
Everyone
so
does that,
every
yeah.
2 years he'll. Well, actually, no, he didn't get the last one. My mum got the last one, but he had the one before that. So he's waited a few years. But I feel that's a fair enough thing.
Yeah. Well, you're no longer using it, right?
No.
Well, there you go.
No, he uses it, and managed to get a larger memory as well on the insurance, which was good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm quite pleased about that. So he's going to be chuffed about that, and he's not going to hear this until afterwards, so that's all right. But yeah, so not getting up for Christmas at all. But we are getting into festive spirit. Had a bit of a Christmas do with a client on Saturday. Have you been on any Christmas do's or anything yet, or are you having one? Or
not really. Well, it's when you work for yourself and you work on your own. It's it can be lonely.
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously other busy people I work with. So a friend of mine, Lindsay Gilby, she runs a company called Praymando.
Okay.
So she's my VA.
Yeah.
And she's worth her weight in gold. But it's nice we get to have a little catch up and a chat and things like that. And but you don't really do the kind of office party because you don't have an office.
No,
it's
back
all
in
home
the day. They were good back in the day, though, weren't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I mean it depends.
No, I didn't enjoy them either.
I mean, end of the day, it's kind of one of it's a bit weirdly it's a busy time of year for me because of that whole
because people are getting drunk and doing things they shouldn't do.
Office parties. What have they been up to?
Wow, I'm pleased you weren't around years ago. Well, and so you do have a drink. What's your tipple?
Wow. I like a lot, really. That makes me sound bad. No, but I like my wines.
Would you like volume a lot, or you just like a lot of different types of drinks?
like lots of different types. So I'm a big fan of BrewDog. Absolutely. Never been BrewDog.
I don't think so. No. What's BrewDog?
It's a microbrewery pub. So
they
started off on Dragon's Den.
Do we have some cans in the fridge? Is that BrewDog? Are they
things
so
like
I drank them.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. But the good thing is there, you can go in there. They've got about 25 taps in there.
Yeah.
With all different beers.
Where
and
is
things
this?
Like that. There's loads of them. There's a good couple up London.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
BrewDog's now in the
But it's
supermarkets.
beer, is it?
Yeah, it's like
I'm
sort
not
of
a big beer.
IPAs, things like that.
Oh yeah, I'm not a big drinker of that.
Yeah.
Unless it's Stella or a Kronenberg Export.
If you're a string
nipples
vest to go
out.
with it.
No, I like a lager that I'm going to feel something from. To be honest,
trust
or a
me,
beer, yeah.
you'll feel these.
Oh, really?
They're at like some of them can be like
See,
11%.
Well, I grew up in the Midlands in Burton on Trent, right? I've got a property still up there as well. I rent out. Hi there, people that rent the property. New people moving in this weekend. It's got nothing to do with it. Burton was a brewing town.
Yeah.
So, but I quite liked a bit of pint of pedigree. Do you know what pedigree is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I like the flavour, because it tastes fucking horrible, to be fair. But it
gets
bloody
you
works.
very,
It
very
absolutely
quickly,
works, yeah. And in a weird way, when you do drink it, I mean, I don't used to drink it very often, but you do start getting a bit of a taste for that sort of bitter, not very nice flavour. Which I suppose we do with alcohol as we go from kids to adults.
Yeah, I mean,
as well.
there's a lot of difference
what's this,
between
Dad?
grape juice and wine.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, well, yeah, a little bit, yeah. So you're going to come on. We'll come on. You're going to come into another chat.
Yeah,
a bit. Yeah, and we're going to do shots and prosecco.
Yeah,
what shot would you do?
Damn. I'll
Anything in
probably
particular?
do rums. I'm a big rum fan. Yeah.
So we're going to be getting in a spiced Bacardi. Which I had at my nephew. I spoke about this a couple of times, so for rum drinkers, we're going to have a spiced Bacardi, and you put a drop of Tabasco in it, and it's really good.
Because
really
I normally I like my food a little warm. But I don't kind of go heavy.
This isn't going to blow your face off. It just gives it that
extra
afterburn.
heat.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Have you tried that rum bouillon?
No.
That's very.
It's got gold flake in it.
No. It's by I think it's the Bathtub Gym Company.
Okay.
But that was really overly spiced.
You do drink a lot, don't you?
Well, not professionally.
Hey, I'd like to put you on a test. Can we get you on and talk about this?
No alcohol or illegal drugs 24 hours prior to the polygraph.
Okay, so we're up there then.
But I mean, this is I mean that's for the examinee.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not the examiner can do what he likes, I suppose.
Yeah, no, but I prefer to kind of be on my game a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose you would do.
You don't want to be kind of not functioning.
Listen, what are the strangest things that you sort of cover on these things? You've got to tell me. I mean, obviously you can't name names, so give us some sort of some ideas. I'm intrigued by this.
So I mean, you kind of got I had some people moving large amounts of money between one another.
Yeah.
About £250,000.
Yeah.
And I said, look, if I was handing them a bag with £250,000 in it, I guarantee I'd have my phone out filming me inside of the bag and me handing the bag
security.
Over. Yeah, it's just a normal chain of
is it for you? I mean, I have to be honest with you. I don't hold up. So you quite clearly find it normal.
No, what I'm saying is that process.
I know. I'm being pedantic.
No, I know. But so the one time a guy doesn't do this.
Yeah.
You've then got one guy saying he hasn't given me the bag.
Yeah.
One saying I've given him the bag.
Yeah.
Well, it's not chump change.
Yeah.
So you kind of do that stuff. I've had a high-end jumper. It was stolen from someone's serviced accommodation.
Right.
I think jumper was about £750. Still had all its labels on.
Right. Okay.
Then
why were you leaving a £750 jumper laying about? That's what I don't know.
Because these people were exceptionally wealthy.
Oh, okay.
The apartments that are these serviced accommodation apartments
are
not the sort of thing where you can probably leave a lot more like Fabergé eggs knocking about.
Oh,
so
do you get do you tend to have a sort of a wide spectrum of different types of people? Is there a certain level of life community that will sort of want to test people? I mean, how does this work?
That's the weird thing. I test young people and I've tested quite old people as well, so it's very, very hard for us to get a sort of ideal client avatar.
Yeah,
because it's anyone who has a problem where either someone's lying to them or they need to prove that they're being honest.
Right.
So that comes from all different walks of life, and people think Jeremy Kyle show.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of people that have polygraphs. They will have them, they use them, and they just don't tell anyone about them.
Right.
It's hard for me, like sort of marketing your business.
Very difficult,
because you don't get that traction. Oh yeah, it was great.
So I mean, how do you market yourself? I mean, is it word of mouth? A lot of it's word of mouth, I'm assuming, is it?
That's some of
that.
No, really, Google Ads. Because by the time someone get to the position that they decide they want to have a polygraph,
they've been online searching like shit for about it, I'm assuming.
Well, no, they want to have the polygraph like 7 months ago when the argument first started.
Right.
So everything then becomes a kind of a bit of a rush.
Right. Okay.
So I mean,
So you find Google's the place that people will find people.
That's where they're going to find me, because it's literally that sort of last minute. I used to, when I first started, I kept my phone on 24/7.
Yeah.
And then I'm putting a stop to that, because there's no point me dealing with a call at 4:30, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And you've just got drunk people and they're in the middle of the argument, and all they want is for someone to take their side. They're never going to book a polygraph.
Yeah.
They're just in the middle of an argument. Oh, I'm going to put an end to this argument, and so that went. Got to put a stop to that, because it's pointless, But it's they want to get something dealt with, draw a line under the sand. Sometimes, So one woman, just as I finished testing her, she turned her phone back on, because obviously phones have to go off.
Yeah.
And she started going like, and she's looking up Hermes' bags and went, "This is going to cost him." It's like, oh my God, Hermes' bag, but He's obviously got to eat a little bit of humble pie.
Yeah.
He's accused of stuff she hasn't done.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, he's now got the issue resolved, so he can now sleep of a night.
Yeah.
If until you've got an issue actually resolved, the worst thing is when you're lying in bed, your brain goes, "I'm going to try and keep solving this Rubik's Cube that is impossible. Every time you turn it a little bit, it changes colour.
Yeah.
Half of it disappears. It's an impossible to solve."
Yeah.
So that's kind of, the whole point of it. And sometimes, obviously, people don't pass, and then at least they've got they know either way, and then it might be a case of they'll either go couples counselling or welcome to Dumpsville, population you.
Yeah.
Put your hand up if you've got a boyfriend. No, put your hand down. That sort of stuff.
So what is it that drives you to do this? I mean, did you just like finding out that people are telling the truth? I mean, come on, what's the passion behind that?
To help people.
Okay.
Because again, if you haven't got the information, you cannot make the important decisions in your life.
Yeah.
So if you had a 1,000-piece puzzle, and someone stole 400 pieces and then threw the front of the box away, and then went solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
In people's mind, they go, "Ooh, this is what I think the answer is going to be," and then they try and fit every puzzle piece to fit the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you end up in a limbo territory, because obviously, if it's a relationship issue...
It's a great analogy, by the way.
Thank you. Obviously, if it's a relationship...
And it's your analogy,
It is. If it's a relationship issue, you go, right, you've obviously invested a lot of time, effort, energy, emotion, money into your relationship.
Yeah.
And you don't want to just give up on that.
Yeah.
By the same token, you don't want to be being made a mug of.
Yeah.
Because it's always, you are the last person to know.
Yeah.
It'll be something in the pub, everyone knows that Billy's being cheated on, and... and he's the last person to find out. So
poor old Billy.
Obviously not a real person. I don't actually think I've ever tested anyone called Billy.
Haven't you?
No, which is weird.
Tomorrow, Billy is going to call you, or Billy's wife is going to call you.
Yeah, you do get that weird synchronicity of stuff you think of someone you haven't seen for years, and all of a sudden they call you out of the blue. And you're wow.
Yeah, literally busy. Billy's wife is going to call you the next few days. If Billy's wife does, can you at least let me know? I don't want to know who they are.
I can't exactly. Hello, Essex Business Radio. Billy's wife. Surname. No, everything's confidential and paramount, and that's paramount. Everyone has to sign off. So if they do want me to discuss something about their polygraph with someone else, they have to sign a consent release form.
Yeah, of course.
To speak about it, because otherwise, the last thing you'd want is someone picks up the phone and goes, tell me about Elliot's polygraph. I'm even going to admit that anyone's had a polygraph.
Yeah, exactly. Who's Elliot?
Exactly. Yeah. They would have to quote the examination number to me.
Yeah.
And I would have to have something that says, I hereby give permission to Paul Bramley, British polygraph test with these information findings too.
Yeah. Do you find yourself judging people normally in everyday life just because of the sort of work you're in? Do you find yourself...
No, that's the weird thing. Everyone says to...
Most of the time I give a fuck.
Well, no, the weird thing is everyone goes, well, what can you tell from body language? And I'm like, right, I don't go on body language because, people learn stuff about, if you look up and to the left, apparently they're telling a lie, and up and to the right, they're being truthful. And you go, okay, so over 10,000 people, how many people do that?
Yeah.
Body language is all you've got to know the individual quite well.
Yeah, sure.
And if everyone thinks, if you look up and to the left, you're lying, everyone would then instantly look up and to the right. So it would defeat itself.
Yeah.
So you go on stuff that, people have no cognitive control over.
Yeah.
But it's, so what I always find, because I have to put myself in a position where anyone who walks in, I'll believe anything they tell me until the polygraph proves differently.
Right, okay.
Because, I don't want to overly influence or prejudge someone.
I think that's pretty good in life to go like that. To be honest, I mean, or you're a cynical bastard. You don't believe anything until it's proven proven otherwise.
I've seen too much. I've seen people that look like they couldn't tell the truth to save their life pass, and I've seen people that look like they couldn't tell the truth to save their life fail.
Yeah,
and I've seen everything in between.
Yeah.
So it's just easier for me to just carry on my job, put people at their ease, relax. Their body's going to let us know either way, and there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
I definitely know a lot more about polygraph testing than I ever did before. It's not something I've sort of even looked into, but I would definitely be keeping your number for a potential future relationship.
Well, there you go. You never know.
Potential. Do you see that?
But if we do pre-employment testing.
I do, yeah.
So if you want to find out if someone's
that's a good idea.
got some stuff in their past, especially if you've got someone that accesses the client's bank account.
Joel, you've got a fucking 2-hour session with this man.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
I'm going to take a pretty quick break, and we're back in a minute. Back again, Paul. Elliot, Essex Business Radio, with Paul Bramley of British Polygraph Testing. Interesting interview, mate. I mean, I genuinely didn't know that much about this at all. I can't say I did a great deal of research because I knew you were going to tell me a lot. Yeah. And I like to not do too much. Yeah. Because I'm genuinely interested in the answers. Sometimes I know we ask a few questions outside of this, and before we start, just to get a bit of a feel. But no, I mean, genuinely really interesting. And as I said, I can think of an application this might be quite useful in.
Do you know what? There's more stuff than people think of. So one of the things that I've always thought would be brilliant for is, imagine, say you've got a child and they've got drug addiction.
Yeah.
Well, you spend like,
Jesus
some
Christ,
of these people
only 10.
No, but when they get a little bit older and you've just spent
11.
30 grand sending them to the Priory.
Yeah, of course. And all joking aside, it happens, of course. Yeah.
But, the last thing you want is for them to come out of treatment, go right back in to the same people, same scenarios, back into the same habits.
For sure.
And, all the money you've spent has effectively gone down the bin.
Yeah.
So one thing polygraph can be used is a compliance device.
Yeah.
So if they know, because people who are on drugs know how to try and get around drug testing as much as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously,
and they're quite they're quite good liars, dare I say, because that's what part of becoming an addict and things is. Yeah, sure.
And so one of the things is, it's a compliance device. If every month you're going to be having another polygraph exam.
Yeah.
Have you used any illegal drugs in the last month?
Yeah.
Then at least you've got that early warning signal system to then go, right, okay, they might need more treatment.
Yeah.
But also it then helps them because it's a compliance device, because they know they're going to be having another polygraph.
Yeah.
And then if they fail, back into the treatment, back into the whole process again. So, it's I've one client comes back to me every year, and because he was suffering from sex addiction.
Right.
And again, it helps him stay on the straight and narrow.
Right.
So it's not necessarily just the kind of, you find out if someone has or whether they haven't, or what they're doing, but also there's that whole kind of, that keeping them on the right path.
Right. Okay.
So.
You're helping a lot of people out by the sounds of it.
Well, that's why I got into it. I mean, there are some people that just kind of see it as, this is an income stream.
Yeah.
And I think, you can't really get into something for that.
It's not just about the money for you then, is it? I mean, obviously, you want to pay your way and lead the life that you lead.
You need to sleep of a night.
Yeah.
And that's what's important to me. I find if you're helping people, and again, it's hard because sometimes you're not giving people the best news in the world.
I was going to say, you're gonna make or break, in whichever way, or at least aid that process, I suppose.
Well, I think if someone's if it's gonna be break, then that's only because someone's been doing something they shouldn't have been doing. Yeah. But at least that person then goes, rather than them wasting 5, 10, 15, however many years with the wrong person, they get to go, right, okay, either we get couples counselling and gets right back on the right track, or, they start afresh, which no one really wants to do. It's not nice, it's hard, but life isn't easy, and at least then you go, oh, okay, now you've got the opportunity again to maybe find, I don't know, Mr. Right or whomever it may be, or Mrs. Right.
Mrs. Right, yeah.
And so then, you've not wasted however much life, energy, emotion, money down the drain, especially if marriages are involved and things like that, the finances start getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And how old's your business? How long have you been doing this?
About 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. four and a half years now, actually.
Right, okay.
You know, so it's
Seen quite a few interesting situations in those 4 years, I suppose.
You do get some odd kind of stuff.
And you see, I mean, this is not just local. This is, we're talking all over the country, and in fact, globally as well.
Yeah.
So you get called to go to other countries and carry out sort of, certain things for certain people.
If it's legal in that country. So,
of course.
for example, in Dubai, it's illegal.
Okay.
So,
Is it?
Yeah. But also don't forget, out there, infidelity is a crime.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot more consequences with that sort of stuff.
Of course,
well.
yeah.
So, again, I need to be able to sleep of a night. If people want to put their own moral issues on things, that's up to them. But I'm also not going to be going across the world into a country that where polygraphs are legal, and then doing illegal testing that then ends up with someone in prison or worse in some of these countries.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know.
Well, look, good luck with the business. I mean, and you're happy the way things are going. Do you want to scale up? You want to grow? I suppose if you do what you do, it's not like you can easily scale up what you do. I'm assuming.
Well, this is the thing. So there's how you would scale. I don't trust anybody else.
Yeah.
There's very few people I trust as polygraph examiners and things like that.
Of course.
Again, there are cowboys in the industry like there are in any industry.
Yeah.
And so, I wouldn't try. I've spent your honesty, integrity, and your credibility is paramount.
Absolutely.
Once you
particularly
sacrifice
what you're
them,
doing. I mean,
exactly.
God. I mean, there isn't anything. There can't be another job really, unless you're a doctor. But really, that means so much too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If testing someone for interfering with children, it's paramount that your work is spot on. And ethical.
Yeah.
And
of course.
that's paramount. And I don't trust anybody else. To have that. Maybe it might just be me being paranoid. I mean, the American Polygraph Association is in God we trust, all else we polygraph.
Yeah. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
What a great catch. I love that. That is brilliant.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of changing my tagline to when in doubt, test and find out. Because it's kind of that little micro script rule and it sticks in the mind. And it is. If you've got doubts,
you're just playing with that, or is that what you're going with?
That's what I'm going to be.
Well, it's what it is now.
Well, yeah. I mean, so
So you've done it here.
Yes, this is the first time you're hearing it. At the moment, it's kind of veritas vos libera, which is in Latin, which is
shit. That's shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody
the truth will
understands
set
that.
you free.
Yeah, but it's like saying nil desperandum illegitimo carborundum. Now, people that don't know what that means.
I like carpe jugulum.
What's that one?
Go for the throat.
Oh, well, I suppose, yeah.
As opposed to carpe diem, seize the day.
Yeah.
That's a Terry Pratchett reference.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so, I mean, you do hear all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's kind of light-hearted. One person, it was a fidelity test, and one of the things they said, look, I haven't had any physical sexual contact with anybody else, but I did stick a pen up a guy's ass.
Oh, yeah,
so
nice.
You can't laugh in their face.
Well, no, not nice. I think that's nice because I like thanks for being stuck up my bottom.
Different strokes for different folks. But, but again, I have to go through these
rubber end first.
I don't know. I didn't even ask. I didn't go, was it a 2B pen? Was it a ball?
Was it? Yeah.
Was it a Mont Blanc? Did you go really classy,
I'd want to be going for a softer lead, that's for sure.
But I mean, again, this is something that we got to clear out there, so they're not sitting there worrying about it.
That would clear out. That would definitely clear out.
It's that old joke about the nurse, isn't it?
No.
She touches her left brocket and goes, she's looking for a pen and goes, oh no, some arsehole's got my thermometer. Some arsehole's got my pen. So
that's the one. Yeah. We nearly got there.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's a good effort. I mean, coming onto that. Cards Against Humanity. You said you know this.
Yes, I've got, but never played. Ironically, I've got a lot, but never played.
We don't play it properly when we do this because obviously we're not going to have it. And you really need to sit down with drinks, don't you? To be fair. Yeah. But we do explain this every time. So there's a black pack there.
Yep.
If you want to give that a little shuffle or just randomly pick a card for anybody that's watching, we've got the Cards Against Humanity pack, and if they want to send us another box, please do. So this is the red box. Pick a black card that's got one or two spaces in it, and then you fill it in with that which has a phrase, and on the white cards will be some words or short phrases that you then will fill in the gaps. So I'm going to hand over the box of white cards to you. Okay. Joel, you're going to join us. Joel is in producing for us today. Hi, Joel.
Hello.
Take one of the black cards. I'm going to do the same. You got white cards?
No, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What
So
am
how
I
many? So
picking
do
a
you need
white
one, I
card?
don't know how many do you need. One or two? If you got one or two
I don't even
spaces.
think I've got one.
Oh, okay. So it's a question. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So you just need an answer.
Right. Okay.
So, so there's a lot of them. So there's questions, and there are phrases with the,
quite apropos.
Okay. So we pass. God, what are you doing, Joel? Just pick one. Stop blooming
I
choosing.
didn't want a
No.
inappropriate.
Oh, was it inappropriate?
Slightly.
We had.
Isn't that the idea?
Well, there's one inappropriate one which we should take out because it was due to some things that were going on politically. That was so incorrect. It would have not been a great idea on the show. Let's put it that way. In fact, it definitely wouldn't have been a very good idea. Okay, and the black cards. So that's what we're doing. So anybody that's just listening and not watching, we are currently picking cards, so we can just have a little bit of a light-hearted game of Cards Against Humanity. I've just dropped one.
Great stuff for a radio.
It is great stuff for radio.
All you just hear is shuffling cards.
Yeah, that is me shuffling cards as well, by the way, not shuffling. Have you not done? Okay.
That's wrong, wasn't it?
Oh, really? For God's sake, it's getting a bit too much. We've got to choose it. When we drink, we are not going to be. We are not going to be choosing. It's going to. Oh yeah, like, can I have the box, please?
Definitely
okay,
not like
so,
young Jamie from the Joe Rogan podcast.
So no. So exactly, and we are definitely not pitching the show against that just yet. But in a couple of years, who knows? Go on then. So what have you got? What have you got?
My black card says, "What's harshing my mellow man?"
Yeah.
And the answer is double penetration, which I can understand why it's harshing his mellow.
I love that. Oh, Brent, that's that. I have to be honest with you. That is one of my favourites so far. The harshing my mellow man has actually come out already, but that's perfect. I love it. Joel, what you got?
Right, charades was ruined for me forever when my mum had to act out Santa Claus.
Yeah,
that's not the best one.
After all of the choosing you
no,
did,
the other
and that
ones
was
would have been a bit.
Really, I think you were. Next time, can you just go with the? I would have been a bit, and then we'll edit it out if need be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got members of New York's social elite are paying thousands of dollars just to experience, and then there's a space. Rising from the grave.
Rising from the grave. Well,
yeah, I don't really rate that one either, to be honest.
Looks like I won that one then.
you did definitely.
I think you definitely pipped it there.
The man with a dark sense of humour.
I'm not a big game player, to be honest. Will you be playing games and things over Christmas? Is that what you're going to be doing?
Big time, yeah.
Really?
So our family, we're a nightmare. So there's certain games that always come up. So bingo, kids love the bingo, but we bet on everything.
That's come up in conversation before, yeah.
But we bet on everything. So you have a lucky Christmas, you can come up quite well.
Right.
And then we've got the horse racing game.
Right.
So this has really taken centre stage for us. So it's a case of you have to buy in.
Okay.
So
quite
money's got to go in. Yeah, yeah. Well,
horses in the lounge. Have you got them stood up in the lounge waiting to go?
Yes. My surname isn't Windsor.
I'm in the wrong industry.
My surname isn't Windsor. But no, so you basically get a set amount of cash, and then we'll go, right, you've got 5 races. Right. Whoever comes out with the most cash takes the pot.
Okay.
So, as a kid, you can have a lucky Christmas and come out.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, so we do love all the games. To be fair, a lot of people, like, TV's a big thing for people. I think the only times we've ever had the TV on at Christmas, and not for the Queen's speech, I know, but, was for the Only Fools and Horses.
Oh, really?
It was like, you can't miss the
Well,
Only Fools and Horses.
I heard they were going to do another one, and they're not going to do another one. I think they are, aren't they?
They did start doing that. Was it 30 Rock or something? No.
I thought they were going to do another Christmas. I thought they were going to do another Christmas thing. But
I think I heard maybe a few little bits and bobs about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see it, but again, it's
everybody would watch it, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not a big game player. Joel, he likes to play a bit of Monopoly, don't you, Joel?
Yeah, it's my favourite.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love Monopoly.
I can't stand the game.
Really?
I can't stand it. Just bores the shit out of me.
Yes,
and I'm not even going to be apologetic to people that are listening and go, "Oh my God, I'm not listening to him again." But don't.
Yeah, no.
Seriously, it's honestly genuinely bores the shit out of me.
Well, I put 3 kids off of it.
Really? What? Because you kept beating them?
Yeah. But I think we played about 4 games in a row. One of them's like, I'm never ever playing this game
Seriously,
again.
So do you know what? That's probably what happened in my household as a child, which is why I don't want to play it anymore. To be honest.
Sorry, 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
That must have taken about 2 days.
Yeah, well, we was away at Butlins and things like that. So, like, you know, we played a couple of games while we was away. Then, as we got back, when they're desperate to beat you, and you just have to school them for making very, very poor business deals.
No, I think the best game is Twister. If you're going to play a game, play Twister. But
alcohol and
yeah.
Now, have you played
I've never played it with any more than one other person, to be fair.
Sad if you're playing it on your own.
Yeah. It gets a bit boring, to be honest.
Have you played a game by Robert Kiyosaki called Cash Flow Quadrant?
No.
That's quite a good fun game, and it gets kids into learning about finances.
Fucking
and business.
boring, but is it really? Is it?
It's quite fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
You play it with kids?
Yeah. The idea is to teach kids about money and finances and things like that.
Right. Okay. That doesn't sound like a game.
Well, it's
an educational game.
It's educational. The idea is to get them to understand investment and things like that.
Right. Okay.
So
I get
out
that.
of the rat race. That's the whole point of the game. But you set yourself like a goal. So it might be, you know, visiting all the Asian cities in the world, or seeing the 7 wonders of the world.
Wow.
Jet setting around.
And
the
what's
South
it called
Pacific.
again?
Cash Flow Quadrant.
Cash Flow Quadrant, and I'm sure there's a few people listening to this that will be now going out and buying that for next Christmas, because they might do.
Quite expensive.
Is it?
Yeah. It's by the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think it's about £65.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not cheap. But I was like, ooh, because I thought, I'll get it, and then I went, no, I'm going to play the online free version.
No, right, okay, and you did.
Yeah.
And did you win?
Yeah. I was playing on my own. I wanted to see how it worked.
Oh,
first,
okay.
So
You're not going to lose then, are you?
Actually, I had lost once because I got like 3 kids on the bounce. I got 3 kids on the bounce. I lost my job about 8 times.
Oh, really?
Okay, game over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's that's what happens in life.
This is starting to intrigue me a little bit. I might
having kids and then losing your job, and you can't pay for anything.
Yeah.
Your life tends to come crashing down.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have learned a lot about not just games, because again, I actually quite want to check that out. Actually, now, to be honest, that game, but definitely learned a lot about polygraph testing. It's been educational, very educational, and you've been a joy. Thanks very much for coming in.
I hope I kind of kept it light-hearted for people, because otherwise it can be kind of like, you know, a bit of a boring sciencey subject.
You've definitely covered a lot about the polygraph testing. Next time we're going to go into some other subjects on a couple of
stories.
Yeah, I think so. Which we may have to edit out certain areas depending on how many we drink, but we'll keep it light. No, but thanks very much, and have a great Christmas with your family playing games.
Lovely, you too.
Beating the shit out of them by the sounds of it. A Monopoly.
No, we don't play Monopoly at Christmas.
Oh, okay.
It's just the bingo and the horse racing game.
Okay.
As long as you can gamble on it, we're having fun.
Okay, well, enjoy winning all the money off your children then.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks very much, Paul. Where can everybody find you if they want to, and they've listened to this? And we're going to be putting some links around this image, the post, and so people can find it out and things on our social. But where can people find you, Paul?
So people can find me at www.britishpolygraphtesting.com. That's my website. There's a few videos for stuff I've done, like with Capital Radio and things like that.
Okay, yeah, cool.
James Corden, so people can laugh at me on that.
Yeah.
And then we've got our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/British Polygraph Testing.
Wow, you go for the full www dot as well there.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
Okay.
I know, I'm old school. I think it's one of those things that gets stuck in your head, and it's just, I'm not that cool.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're a cool guy. And other socials?
Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter we don't use particularly much. We're on Instagram, again, very difficult because it's all picture.
Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, exactly.
So, there's only so many.
How do you show people
like
lying? I mean,
I can't put people in the pictures, can I?
No, but you could have a model pretending to lie. But how the fuck do you put that on a page? Like, what's the lying face?
I'll be spending money on a model for.
Excuse me. I want to show me your best lying face. How do I know you're fucking lying?
The lips are moving.
Oh, brilliant! What a great note to end on. Thanks very much, Paul. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Elliot. No,
as I said, there'll be some links around. Thanks very much for joining us on YouTube, on Essex Business Radio, on whatever the format. Thanks very much, and come and check out another podcast or a interview here. And in the new year, in 2020, we're definitely going to be doing a few of these on drinks, and they're going to be quite interesting, I think.
That'd be great.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting you back.
Yeah, definitely. I'll come.
All right, thanks very much. Take it easy. Cheers.
listening to Essex Business Radio with your host, Elliot Browne.